Next up is our school police presentation by Chief Brian Key.
Director.
I like to call you Chief.
Good evening. My name is Brian Key. I'm the Director of the Gateway School District Police Department. I've been a resident of Monroeville for 28 years. I'm here to give you a brief overview of the school district's police department and the role the school resource officer plays in the district. We were established in August 2016 with the assistance of Assistant Director Tim Skoog and Officer John Pulowski. We drafted and developed policies and procedures for the department and established what role the SRO would play in the district. Tim Skoog is a retired Allegheny County Sheriff. John Pulowski is a retired Monroeville Borough Detective and I'm a retired PA State Police Sergeant. And all three of us have kids in the district. Our mission is to provide a safe and secure learning environment. In order to build rapport with the students and make them feel safe, we select officers who are flexible and receptive. Open channels of communication with teachers, administrators, and parents is essential in order to identify and resolve potential problems. Our backgrounds are very diverse. We currently have 15 school resource officers. All of them are sworn police officers. The majority of the school resource officers are retired police officers, and they served in a leadership role or had a specialized position within their former agencies. If you just take a second and review the slide, you'll get a general idea of what their backgrounds are. We had professional law enforcement careers before we came on board with Gateway. In addition to what's on the slide, we have several retired state troopers, several retired Monroeville Borough officers, and we even have one officer who is currently employed full-time at the Allegheny County Coroner's Office as a forensic investigator. Projecting a professional image and having a positive attitude is very important. So don't be misled by the word retired. All officers are required to attend and successfully complete the National Basic School Resource Officers course. The course focuses on school-based law enforcement and building relationships with the students. Our department places a great deal of emphasis on personal development. Prior to being considered for a position with our department, all applicants must attend a state or municipal police academy and have a minimum of 10 years experience. We're really fortunate that most of our officers have more than 20 years of law enforcement experience. Currently, the PA Public School Code does not require annual updates or recertification for school police officers, not school resource officers. However, all of our officers are required to attend annual updates and semi-annual firearms and weapons recertifications. If you take a look at the training we had to date, it ranges from first aid to active shooter training. The safety of our students, the safety of our kids is very important to us. Visibility is the most effective deterrent. We focus on visitors and students entering the buildings. We pay close attention to the perimeter of the buildings, and we also pay close attention to the parking areas. We also cover sports events. At least one officer is assigned to each school in our district every day. Preparation and training. The school police was established in order to protect our children from outside threats. Proactively protect. Our job is to train and instruct students and staff on how to respond and react in an emergency situation. Our district uses ALICE: alert, lockdown, inform, counter, and evacuate. Officer Skoog and I are certified ALICE instructors. Our responsibility is to establish and implement an action plan that can effectively handle the threat of an aggressive intruder or an active shooter. We conducted ALICE drills at each school in our district this year, and the training was different throughout the district. It was age appropriate. For example, at the high school, we had a full-blown ALICE drill, which entailed evacuate if possible, lockdown as possible, and counter in discussion. At the smaller schools, the elementary schools, we did primarily debriefings, tabletop discussions with the students to get them kind of familiar with the whole ALICE concept. District-wide safety audits. In order to ensure a safe and secure learning environment, officers are instructed to identify any issue within our schools that can be improved or enhanced. This includes soliciting information from students, faculty, and staff. Earlier this month, Officer Skoog and I attended a seminar that offered another way to respond to an active threat called Run, Hide, and Fight. The training was offered by the PA State Police. The Assistant Superintendents, Dr. Chaikin and Dr. Rossi, also attended. We stressed the team concept in reference to protecting our students. Continued safety, education, and building relationships is our foundation. I think the article on the front page of the Post-Gazette pretty much sums it up: to protect and serve schools. In closing, we're counselors, we're mentors, we're fans, we're parents, boosters, and friends who just happen to be school police officers. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Officer Key?
Sure. Brian, when we were first getting ready to think about whether or not we wanted to have a school police force, we were able to have the safety committee bring in someone, I believe it was from Butler, and talk about what they were doing out there. Right now, some of the neighboring schools are trying to copy what we're doing here at Gateway, such as Plum. Do you share some of the learnings and recommendations that you have with some of the neighboring schools regarding setting up a school police force?
We attend SRO training through NASRO. It's a National Organization for School Resource Officers. When we attend training, even though it's regional, you'll have officers from various states and different parts of this state. And we exchange ideas, email addresses. There's also a Yahoo email account that's kind of dated on the AOL. So, and we brainstorm and discuss any way to address ongoing school enforcement issues.
So have you had the opportunity to stand in front of the Plum School Board and offer some sort of a 5-minute presentation?
I haven't yet, but one of the current security officers was a classmate of mine in the State Police Academy.
Uh-huh.
And we worked together, and I've talked to him just about our setup. We really haven't addressed the particulars of Plum yet.
I think the reason I'm trying to get to that is because if one school has one type of trouble with one class of misbehavior, like breaking into cars or drugs or whatever, fighting, whatever it is, and then the resource officers figure out how to best tackle that, that should be shared with all the neighboring schools as well, so that we can work on this, as a unit, and not be in isolation. So I would love to see what you do for our kids here multiplied and replicated in a lot of the other school districts, so that not just our kids, all the school kids are safe.
And NASRO they have meetings for resource officers, and they also brainstorm. So it's in place. The SRO program has been here. We're new at it, but I guess we're real new in this area. It's kind of a blessing. But networks to communicate already exist. And we still there's newsletters, there's a very detailed website, and we still get blasts about training in the area.
So these are email blasts, newsletter blasts?
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, the training we attended was at Homestead.
I like
That was offered by another agency. And it's out there. If we're exposed to it and afford the opportunity to attend, that'd be great.
Just to let you know, Mr. Ritter, myself and Mrs. Crump had an opportunity to meet with Dr. Highland, the new superintendent of Plum, and Mrs. Ressler, school board member of Plum. And we hosted them here maybe about a month ago. And,
Elizabeth Forward is coming on
yes,
Monday.
Elizabeth
We've
Forward is
spoken with
stopping by.
Franklin Regional and given them a lot of information.
and as they begin that process of organizing their own SRO, school police force, we've made Mr. Key and Mr. Skoog and everyone else available if they would like to go out and visit and talk.
That's very generous. Thank you.
And they did extend an invitation to Skoog and I for the Plum meeting. We just weren't available.
Okay, guys. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the fine job, Officer Key. Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
Moving on to